The G1 Supercard show in Madison Square Garden is just around the corner, to a mere 24 hours away. It's time for my preview here, as I believe 11 match card, as the pre-show is going to start off with the Honor Rumble, as the Honor Rumble for so far, I believe it's going to be 30 men. I've heard 20, I've heard 30, but I think it's 30. I think it's going to be a 30-man Rumble. So far, there's only been confirmed entrants: Jushin Thunder Liger, PJ Black, Kenny King, Bouncers, and Cheeseburgers. So about 6-7 guys already. If I had to assume, out of the 30, there's probably going to be like 20 Ring of Honor guys, 10 New Japan guys. Even I could see 25 Ring of Honor guys and 5 New Japan guys. I'd love to see Liger get a win. That'd be fucking awesome. But I'm assuming they would let a Ring of Honor guy win it. That'd probably be my guess. But, you can't go wrong with a Rumble. It's just, you can't. As long as if it's what it is, this is going to be the replacement of the New Japan Rumble. We've missed it this Wrestle Kingdom. So now we get it here on this G1 Supercard code. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Something like that. As, then, the next match, I believe this will also be part of the pre-show, which the pre-show is going to be aired for free. If you don't have the New Japan World or anything like that, I believe it's going to be airing for free that first hour, because it starts at 6:30. I think from 6:30 to 7:30, it's going to be that hour is going to be free onward. So I believe this will be on the pre-show as well. If not, it'll be the opener. It's a 6-woman, basically a 6-woman team, Woman of Honor matchup here, as we have as Kagetsu, Ginny Rose, and Azuki take on Sumi Sakai, Stella Gray, and Hana Kimura, as basically a Woman of Honor 6-woman tag team matchup here. That's great to see the Woman of Honor. This wasn't really officially part of the show until a couple of days, but here we go. This will be the first women's match to be a part of a review and preview for a New Japan show so far. I've been doing it for the past, now gonna be year 2. So that's good, and this will also, there's a Woman of Honor Championship matchup later on in the card. So that's nice. We get some inclusion there for the women. And, Kagetsu and really Sumi Sakai. Really, Kagetsu is probably the most talented one out of this 6-woman here. She's fucking awesome. Has a cool look, too, about her, so that's going to be awesome. Hopefully, everybody gets a nice rub from this match as well. As far as who's gonna win, it's pretty much up in the air, it being kind of an opener. Really, they're not 2 official teams. It's just kind of thrown together here. I'll go with the Kaketsu, Ginny Rose, Suzuki team. That'd just be my guess. As far as, because really Sumi Sakai is really the only kind of name so far, really, as a Woman of Honor, as she was the first ever Woman of Honor champion. So that really is the only star power on that team. So that kind of makes sense to the other team. The first team would get the win there. As Jeff Cobb versus Will Ospreay for the Ring of Honor television title and the Never Openweight Championship title on the line here. What a fucking match, too. Jeff Cobb, Will Ospreay are going to be fucking awesome. I hope Jeff Cobb wins. I really do, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think, really, Jeff Cobb could use this immensely for, a Never Openweight Championship. He took on Goto in the past for the Never Openweight Championship and never really got a nice rub and win, as they got a pinfall victory at the Honor Rising in a tag match. So that'd be nice to see him get a big win here in the States, and then to go back to Japan with the Never Openweight Championship. Even though Will Ospreay's he's had a great run so far with the belt the past 4 months or so, it would be great to see Jeff Cobb, especially with the Never Openweight Championship, because Jeff Cobb would really kind of embody what a Never Openweight champion could be, as far as what he can do physically with guys, strong style, but also just beating the shit out of people, but also showing off the athleticism that he could do. He'd really be like a crazy-ass Never Openweight champion. Whereas Will Ospreay, the junior guy who bumped up and won the Never Openweight Championship as really the first, junior to jump up to the Never Openweight division. Either way, though, I think this is going to be a hell of a match, of course. One of the best matches on the show, and this show is pretty stacked, to be honest. So that's going to be looking forward to this matchup. As also Will Ospreay had just had an incredible match with Bandito 2 days ago. As far as when this show happens, that happened on the 3rd. For the WrestleCon Super Shows. That's also a thing that maybe they'll lead into. Probably not, though. I doubt anybody will bring that up in the broadcast, but that is a thing. As next match, Rush versus Dalton Castle. I hope Rush gets the win, just to have him get a nice big win in the United States for Ring of Honor as one of the kind of the newer signees this past year for Ring of Honor. Rush, of course, has been involved in CMLL as the Los Ingobernables de Japón member in CMLL. He never really got booked a whole lot for New Japan, really just as far as like in Fantastica Mania appearances, but nothing like for the regular schedule of New Japan or anything like that. So it'd be cool if maybe somebody from New Japan sees this match and goes like, oh shit, maybe we should have a Rush do some matches for us. That's kind of the main thing I'm getting out of this match. But Rush, either way, I think Dalton Castle, this kind of moment is coming and gone, and now it'd be great to elevate a talent like Rush here on the show. For me, that's just again my opinion there. As the Woman of Honor Championship matchup as Mayu Iwatani takes on Kelly Kline. Mayu Iwatani is definitely going to get the win here. I mean, she, as someone that's so talented as her, it'd be really weird to see Kelly Kline get the win over her here on the show on Madison Square Garden. Arguably one of the biggest Ring of Honor shows in recent history here. But, Kelly Kline, her ability probably isn't up to par with Mayu Iwatani, in my opinion. But I still think it's going to be a decent little match. I don't think it's going to be great or good or anything. It'd be decent, though. And I think if the crowd gets behind it, they can really work into something really good. But I just don't see that happening as far as this match. But gets Mayu Iwatani on the card, so that's cool. That's nice to see there. As the Bully Ray's Open Challenge Street Fight was answered by Juice Robinson. So here we have Bully Ray, Juice Robinson, a street fight. I think everybody wanted to see Bully Ray, Minoru Suzuki, and as awesome as that would have been, it sucks that it's not going to happen. I will say that. And Bully Ray, Suzuki in a street fight would have been very fucking awesome. But we get Bully Ray and Juice as, I think Juice is going to get the win over Bully Ray. I don't think Bully Ray is going to win. That would fucking suck if he does win. That'd be quite the damper on that. But as far as Minoru Suzuki, this weekend, he just had a match at Bloodsport. As I'm recording this, obviously, on the 5th. He had a match on Bloodsport last night, main event, him and Josh Burnett, which was really awesome. I love the Bloodsport show, and I think it was better from the first one 2 years ago. Not 2 years, last year. As the first one last year, you had the grounds of it being a really fun and unique show. Just the refs kind of fucked up a couple of finishes. This one, they got it together. Some awesome fucking matches throughout. Some unique and different matches. And it was fun. It was fun to see. And then, Regal was there. Ambrose was there in the crowd. So that was also fun to see. Just on Twitter, everyone like, oh, shit. And Regal, looking like a final boss kicked up in the rafters. Just looking down at his fucking peasants fighting to the death. It was just an awesome visual. Just to see Regal, just in that damper suit, looking like a fucking final boss. As there, more about Minoru Suzuki not being in the street fight. That's probably why. Maybe the Bloodsport thing. And they're just like, we don't want to overbook Minoru Suzuki for the show. But he might show up in the Honor Rumble or something. That'd be kind of weird seeing him thrown into the pre-show when he could be in this spot here against Bully Ray. But who knows? It's a thing where it's sometimes politics or something gets into the way of things. As there is that match, the street fight, it could be some fun. Nothing really looking forward to the street fight as much as this next match, though. Triple threat match, Taiji Ishimori, Dragon Lee, Bandito. Bandito getting thrown into the match by the Ring of Honor. Coerced there as, obviously, kind of a big, what if, as far as kind of wrestling history in this decade would be, Taiji Ishimori, Dragon Lee, the singles match, what could have been. As, I initially thought this was going to be a ladder match. I don't think that was ever promoted as that, but I could have swore this triple threat was promoted as a ladder match at the Ring of Honor Championship triple threat match. That is the ladder match instead of this match, so that sucks. think comparing the two, this would have been the much better ladder match, but there's that. But this match, and it could steal the show, very well could. Bandito, of course, as I've said, had that WrestleCon main event against Will Ospreay, which was fucking crazy. And we have, obviously, Ishimori and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee and Bandito is going to be fucking nuts in the interactions they have together. And also, Taiji Ishimori, don't want to throw him under the bus. Him and Bandito. Bandito, of course, if Bandito does win, which I doubt he'll win, but if he does, he's had matches, of course, in Dragon Gate in the past 2 years. So that he does have a bit of fandom over there in Japan. So if he would to win this Junior Heavyweight Championship, it wouldn't be a complete shock, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Depending on who's going to win, I'd say it'd be Ishimori, just as far as they'll keep that reign going a little bit longer, and then he'll probably maybe drop it to whoever wins the best Super Juniors, would be my guess going into this triple threat, but I'm very looking forward to this match. It's going to be fucking awesome. As the next match for the IWGP and Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, Guerrillas of Destiny take on Brody King and PCO. Evil and Sonata taking on Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe. Of course, this was promoted first as Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa taking on Jay and Mark Briscoe. And then Evil and Sonata and PCO and Brody King get ahead to this. Awesome to see PCO and Brody King in this match. As far as those guys, PCO, the man was, into what this recent run has been for PCO at last year's WrestleMania weekend at the fucking Joey Janela Spring Break 2. That match, him and Walter, man, what a fucking awesome match that was. And it's so awesome to see a guy who was, former star. Fucking the last time I cared about a PCO match was in 1993. Him and Bret Hart at In Your House 3 to go to here in 2018 to have that match with him and Walter, and just him going on the tear and then being booked into like Bola and now in Ring of Honor at 50 some years old. He's gonna take like a crazy ass apron bump at Madison Square Garden. That's gonna be awesome to see him in this match and all in this card in general, as he's definitely fucking deserved it. As hard as he's worked, the crazy shit he's been doing in the past year, man's been on fire. So he's gonna win this. Really, it would be cool to see like a weird PCO Brody King run in Japan. Like, that'd be a fun thing to see. But as far as who's going to win, Evil Sonata just getting a win out of nowhere to get the belts, the IWGP Tag Team titles back, and then to have just being booked in Ring of Honor could be cool to see. Jay and Mark Briscoe could definitely see that happening. And also could see Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Really, there's really no destined winner here. That's kind of nice to see. As far as there's a lot of multi-man matches on this card. We've talked about the triple threat, now this fatal four-way tag for the championship. A bit awkward if it's, I think the crowd's going to be into it, though. This could be the best tag match for New Japan being involved throughout the entire year, to be honest. So there's that looking forward to, which that kind of tells the state of the tag team division in New Japan right now, especially with, like, All Japan just killing the tag scene recently with the Violent Giants and Strong BJ matches. It's just, there's nothing. New Japan's definitely, like, playing second fiddle in the tag division compared to the other scene, and especially like Dragon Gate too. Dragon Gate's multi-man matches are just insane compared to New Japan. So there's a thing that New Japan could definitely work on in the future, but I just don't think, even with this crazy-ass four-way tag, it'll probably be the best, tag match of the year, like I've said, but it's not going to bring a dent into me. It's not going to heighten what I think of the tag scene's going to be in New Japan, if that makes any sense, after this match. It's going to be a one-time thing, and we'll go back to not caring about the tag division, probably, for the rest of the year in 2019. As, I'll say Jay and Mark Briscoe get the win. I'll just say that. Ring of Honor guy getting a nice rub in one of these IWGP Ring of Honor, be Jeff Cobb getting the rub, and then the Briscoes getting the rub. Then everybody else is going to be pretty much the same. As the next match, British Heavyweight Championship, Zack Sabre Jr., the champion, taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. As, Zack Sabre Jr. and Hiroshi Tanahashi again with a British Heavyweight Championship. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to retain. I don't think Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to have the British Heavyweight Championship around his waist, leaving Madison Square Garden. Would make sense to have Zack Sabre Jr. get a win over Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi beat him in the New Japan Cup, and now Zack Sabre Jr. pulls one off against him here for the British Heavyweight Championship. But, they've always had some good matches, so that's nice. A nice, solid match midway through the card to be like, hey, that's going to go well. So that's nice. The next match, and probably could be, very well, the match of the night as well. Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. What a fucking match this is going to be. They had an incredible New Japan Cup match, of course, in round 1. And here, I don't think Ibushi's going to win, to be fair. I think Naito's going to win. But it really depends on how this IWGP Heavyweight Championship match goes. If Jay White loses to Okada, could very well see Ibushi beating Naito, and then have Naito Okada be built for Dominion, or something along those lines. And then as far as if Jay White retains over Kazuchika Okada, we could still see Ibushi win over Naito and have Naito and Jay White happen at Dominion, which could be fucking awesome too in a way, and have Naito get a win and beating the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. It just really depends on how they want to go. So really, no matter what happens in that IWGP Heavyweight Championship matchup, the next contender for their title match at a Dominion could very well be Tetsuya Naito. It could very well be it. Naito could drop it here at the G1 Supercard, or he could drop it at Wrestling Dontaku, building up to to Dominion and having him take on the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, whoever that may be. Nonetheless, though, I will go with the safe-ish bet with Naito retaining over Kota Ibushi and having Tetsuya Naito get a nice, solid win under his belt against Kota Ibushi, and what will probably be an awesome match. And Ibushi's probably going to kill himself for Madison Square Garden, so there's that. As the triple threat ladder match for the Ring of Honor Championship, Jay Lethal, Matt Taven, and Marty Scurll. As Marty Scurll, I'm sure whenever his Ring of Honor contract runs out, he'll join AEW. Could see him get a win there, just kind of shockingly, over Jay Lethal, Matt Taven. Jay Lethal, Matt Taven, randomly on that anniversary show, went to an hour draw. So that was kind of like a weird, didn't think that would happen type of thing. Very awkward to see that. But I don't think, Taven's going to get the win. And I don't think Jay Lethal, he's probably going to be the second odds-on favorite of winning, behind probably Scurll. As, to have Scurll, I feel like they need to pump Scurll to do something for Ring of Honor. And having him be the Ring of Honor champion could very well do that. Help elevate him. As Jay Lethal, of course, he's going to be a Ring of Honor lifer, very much like the Briscoes have been. It seems like he was a guy, obviously the first real, the television title run into the Ring of Honor title run with Truth Martini. That whole run was really the House of Truth run. Was definitely his peak of Jay Lethal's career, in my opinion. And those days are behind him now. So here he's gotten the Ring of Honor Championship again. But here we could see him drop it to Scurll, and they have like a singles match later on. Maybe Scurll beats him again, type of thing. That'd be my guess. Either Marty Scurll wins, or Jay Lethal wins. But Matt Taven would be very shocked if he won. There is the main event. Jay White versus Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. As in now, it's the Okada winning the New Japan Cup, really his first big achievement for the Rainmaker character post-Ghetto and since the long pants gimmick and the losing of Ghetto, and Ghetto turning on him. That was his first big achievement now. So now, we have basically the end, what could be the end of Okada Jay White as far as this sequence is gone. And now, for this main event, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, we finally get to see Okada get his win over Jay White. It makes sense. Just from a story perspective, it makes sense that he beats Jay White here, and they send this G1 Supercard off with Kazuchika Okada as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, really ending it on a positive note. As much as Jay White's had a great, solid, run of really, since the G1 last year, he's had a great run. I think now it comes to that time where he finally gets a big loss, and it happens here on the G1 Supercard against Okada. think it's going to be a great match. I don't think it's going to be on the level of the Wrestle Kingdom match. That Wrestle Kingdom match was very special. Because, you go into the Rebirth of the Rainmaker, and he loses still against Jay White. Just the shocking loss of Jay White. And then really those last 5 minutes were just really peak excitement level of the whole card, in my opinion, was that Jay White-Okada match. Don't think it's going to happen here, but I think it's going to be very similar, and having Okada win will help boost that over the top. But I'm very looking forward to seeing this card. The main event is going to be a lot of fun. The Intercontinental Championship's a lot of fun. The ladder match could be some fun spots. I think the Fatal 4-Way tag match is going to be some fun spots. PCO Spark going to try and kill himself with an apron bump at 50-some years old. Triple threat match for the junior title is going to be awesome. And, the Jeff Cobb Will Ospreay match is going to be a lot of fun. So the undercard, not a lot of great stuff, but it has a very top-heavy card from pretty much the triple threat junior heavyweight match onwards. Really is going to be a good to great match, so you can't really beat that. Looking forward to the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think the Garden, it's still not going to feel like a New Japan show, obviously, with the American audience, but I still think it's going to be a fun show. I think it's going to be one of the best New Japan shows in the States there's ever been so far. There's a lot of marquee matches happening on this card to make it feel like it's a big-time show, so there is that. But that will do it for my preview. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as well, and I'll catch you guys for the review of the G1 Supercard.